This video, I'm going to share with you some ways you can study the Korean language. So, like any language, studying Korean is very difficult, but then with determination and openness and knowing the way, it's easy for you to study any language. So, I'll share with you some of the skills or some of the strategies I developed to study Korean language. And before I start, I already recorded my other video, my other live section. So if you want to check, you can check it out my videos. And I discussed about the things I like, the things I dislike about Korea. So you can look in my video sections to find out that topic. So you'll be wondering, why do I look sweaty? Yeah, it's because I'm riding. It's 11 p.m. in South Korea, specifically Seoul, and taking a ride. As you can see, this is the road. This is a bicycle lane, and even at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you will find people over here riding bicycles. So everyone has his reason. Mine is health. I'm trying to keep fit. Advice from my doctor, which is not true. Yeah, it's my personal advice. I'm my own doctor, so I decided to take my own advice. And so every time I try to keep fit, exercise the body. Yeah, keep a very healthy body, because you never know. So you can see it's 11 p.m., but the place is noisy and there's still activity going on. Okay, now let's move on straight to the topic. So the question is, how do you study Korean language? I guess for some of you, you're already in Korea and it's hard for you to communicate with the people. So you have this feeling of, I want to tell them something, but I want to I want to say something to my colleague, but I don't know how to say it. And I wish I could translate my feelings directly to the person, for the person to know how I feel. But it happens that you can't speak their language, so that's language barrier. It's kind of like you speaking to yourself, speaking inside you, because you can't voice out. It's a sad situation, and so I'm here to help you out. As you can see, what I do is to offer help as much as I can, especially anything about South Korea. Oh, you can see that's a rider who just came to pass by. Yeah, my slow. That's an electric. Go. Oh, I envy this guy. Anyways, this is mine. I just borrowed this for riding, and for an hour you pay $1. For 2 hours you pay close to $2. So I did 2 hours, and so it's 2 hours for me. And then afterwards I'm going to return it. So it is what it is. To study the language, I will give you step by step what you must do. The first method I will recommend is I would recommend that you make friends. Yeah. So you can make friends with Koreans, even if you don't understand the language. It's a step. Anyway, I'm just being very careful because these days there are some weird incidents around, so I need to protect myself and be aware of my environment. Yeah, whoever is in my circumference. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, out of danger. So that is it. Um, so you have to make some Korean friends, and even though you don't understand the language, you should try very hard to make some Korean friends. Perhaps Koreans like to be introduced, so you can talk to someone who knows a Korean friend, and then get introduced to one or a lot of friends. And even though you don't speak the language, you can speak English and try very hard to explain what you want to say in English. You can even start by texting with the person, so you can use the translator to translate what you want to say, perhaps in from English to Korean, and then you send it to the person sends it back to you, you see what it means, the person tell the person to text in Korean. So when the person gives it to you in Korean, then you can copy and paste it into your your translator, and then also check what it means. So by so doing, once you put in that, some words will stick, and some syllables or some alphabets will become second nature to you. But what I'm saying is this depends on your level of Korean. So for some people, this will be very easy for them to speed up their level of Korean. But for absolute beginners, this might be very hard. So we go to the second way. The second one is using Korean drama. So we can watch Korean drama. I know these are points that everyone might say they know, but watch to the end and I'll give you more salient points. So we just clear the obvious ones. So watch Korean drama. Korean drama is full of some phrases that are very popular, and you keep hearing them over and over again. And as you see with the subtitle, you would easily know what it means. I always speak to my Korean friends. I tell them, your dramas are always the same. I really don't enjoy the match. I don't really enjoy the dramas so much because it's always the same thing over and over again. The storylines are always the same. The expressions are always the same. I was watching a drama with my friend, and I told my friend, this guy is going to die, and he's going to lose his memory. And when he loses his memory, he's not going to recognize his wife. And my friend said, have you watched this movie? I'm like, no. But I can tell because the storyline is always the same. Someone loses their memory, someone falling in love and then breaks up and later on finds another thing, and it's basically the same thing. No matter what happens, there's always about love. No matter what happens, there's always about accidents, memory lost, and those funny slow motions. That's not my thing. I want different storylines. So I usually don't like to watch Korean drama. But for language sake, you can decide to watch them. And because I said it's the same thing, you would see or hear similar phrases. And some phrases are very common. Oh my god, who is this? Wow. That's so nice. I thought it was even a dream. Anyway, yeah, so some phrases are very common in Korean drama. Like you hear something like 사랑해 means I love you. 좋아해, I love you. 먹고 싶어, I want to eat. 보고 싶어, I miss you. So these are just common phrases you would hear in Korean drama. And when you meet Koreans, you don't try to speak perfect Korean. Just try to be yourself and just keep saying those words. And I don't look bad. And as you keep saying those words, I'm sure you will learn more phrases and become good. Oh my god, there are a lot of riders on this road. Even old men, you can see. This old man, I guess, is in his 50s or 60s, but exercising to keep fit. That is Korea for you. Yeah, it's 11, almost 12, but still activity, still active. People are working. Oh my god, I'm not alone. All right, so drama and movies is good. It's even perfect if you watch without a subtitle. I know watching without subtitle can be very difficult. You might not be able to understand, but then it's good. It helps you become more attentive and your brain struggles. You know, learning is very difficult. When you learn with struggle, it's hard for you to forget. But when you learn with ease, your brain kind of gets to its comfort level and then you easily forget it. But when you learn with struggle, your brain tries to form different network. It becomes hard for you to forget. I know you might think these are just common sense practices you must do, but then with these common sense practices, I'm adding my own experiences, so that makes it very unique. It's unique. It's not common sense. It's very unique. So uh, without subtitles, are very good. Are very good. When I started learning Korean, yeah, sometimes I wouldn't even use a subtitle, and at the end of the movie, I wouldn't even understand anything. But I would just say to myself, yeah, you need that because the brain. Let me take you to science. There is something we call neuroplasticity. So when the brain experiences something new, it tries to form new network, and this new network is what defines the path for that particular knowledge or experience you gain. So when you don't create that new network or pathway, what happens is that the brain is not able to retrace the steps. That is why sometimes when you forget something, you try very hard to remember. If you created those pathways, your brain is able to retrace them and then bring you that information that has been stored in the brain. But if it was just easy and you didn't struggle to create any pathways and try to make your brain work, what happens is that you easily forget it. I remember my brother went to the botanical garden and he wrote down the names of the trees, the botanical names. He just listed everything down. And writing is just easy. After writing, when he got home, I asked him, what's the name of any, he should just give me any one of the trees and then their botanical names. He couldn't even mention one. So everything he wrote was just nonsense. It was just absolute gibberish because he was just writing. He didn't even sweat. So the same thing is learning language. You need to sweat. You need to exert yourself. You need to try. You need to try very hard to commit those things to memory. And when you commit them, they'll become part and part of you. So learn. You can watch the movies, your favorite drama, without subtitles. And then you can also use, oh, that's a train. That's a train. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a train over there. And then you can also use the newspaper. So you can read a newspaper or listen to radio or even watch television programs in Korean. They have a lot of interesting programs in Korean that when you watch it, or even the way the media is presented in Korea is different from the Western world or some other countries because it's more interactive. For instance, in other countries, it's just raw, right? When it's a program, let's say it's a program about fishes, right? So they just show you the fishes and then the presenter will just be talking. But in Korea, it's quite different. They will show you the fishes, all right, but on the same screen, they would be writing. There will be whatever the person is saying will be written on the same screen, like subtitle in the same Korean language. And also, they would express feelings. So let's say if the fisherman catching the fish is happy, then they would show a happy face on the person's face or make a cartoon or show something. So when you watch Korean television stations, it's more interactive and you would learn one or two whilst learning the language. So I would say that the movies, media, it's very important for you to learn Korean language. So one, make friends. Two, the media, movies, Korean drama, those things are very, very, very important. And then three, so the third one is for those who are very serious about taking their Korean to the different level. What I would say is that if you have a phone, right, you can change the settings to Korean. Yeah, I mean what I said. Change the settings of your phone to Korean. Now, when you change the settings to Korean and you are logged out, no one will tell you to learn the language, to try to understand what the keys, what the features of your phone mean. because everything will be in Korean. And that is even the same way to learn English language. You just change because you use your phone every day. So imagine you use your phone every day and your phone is in Korean. You'll be forced to try to adapt to Korean. If you don't want to use a phone, you can decide to change the language of maybe your browser to Korean. Try to change one thing, whether your phone, your laptop, or your desktop computer, or even an application you have. Try to change it into Korean. And since you'll be using that application all the time, when you even just look at it, yeah, you would see some of the Korean words and you will start to getting used to it. So that is how it works. You can change that particular setting. It's very uncomfortable, but when you do it with time, you're gonna get used to it and it will become second nature. Oh my god, this is so steep. Can I do it? Let's see. Oh, I have one person online. Oh my god. Hold on. Yeah. Let's go. Oh my god. I did it. Oh, there's one person online. Let's see. That's good. Yeah, so wow, is the train again? So loud. So loud here. That's a train. So that is it. Yeah, so you can change the settings to Korean and that would force your mind to learn the Korean language, right? Yeah, so that is also one way of doing it. Now, let's go to the next way of doing it. So the next way of doing it is to get some books. So when I say books, you don't have to go and get a very difficult book like a very big book or something. Just get elementary books like kids book. So when you started learning English, you used to have books that had alphabets. A for apple, right? Yeah. I almost missed that one. So A for apple, B for ball, those kind of books. There are similar ones in Korean, and those are like very short stories. And so you can read those short stories. If you know the alphabets, the Korean alphabets, you can read those short stories. But if you don't know the Korean alphabets, then you could use another way. Perhaps you could write them and then try to understand them out. Or you could use a podcast. So the books are also important. Books are important for you to learn. And the Korean alphabets are very, very easy. I'll be honest with you, if I can use just some few hours to teach you the alphabets and you will be good to go to pronounce words on your own. There are some technical alphabets, but you don't need to know them in the beginning. But the very basic ones I can teach you and you would understand them. So this is the basic way of learning Korean. I've shared with you 4 different ways to learn Korean, and I will later on share with you how to pass the Korean exams. Remember, learning the Korean language is different from passing the examination because they have this exams called TOPIK, and passing that you could have someone who is very good at passing the test and yet be bad at speaking the language. So I would also help you out with those who would like to write the exams, and I have my own techniques of learning how to write the exams. I hope you enjoyed this section. I still have some kilometers to go till I get to my house, and so those who have been with me up to this point, thank you so much. And those who would watch these videos later on, I wish you the best, and may the good Lord be with you, bless you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would see you in another section. Goodbye.